And the Venezuela Nuestra, or Our Venezuela campaign commander of President Nicolás Maduro, together with social organizations, denounced that the far right is preparing scenarios to try to delegitimize the upcoming presidential elections of July 28th. From Caracas, our correspondent Lionel Retamal offers more details.
The
coordinator of President Maduro's campaign denounced in a press conference that the Venezuelan opposition is creating scenarios to denounce fraud in view of an eventual triumph of the incumbent president.
They have it already prepared. Guess what? Guess what they are going to say? Fraud. Just like the Mexican far right, the Venezuelan right wing and far right will do the same. Write it down. They are going to claim fraud. Please write it down.
Spokespersons of the extremist right-wing campaign confirmed it. Recently, former opposition deputy Thomas Guanipa, without evidence, stated that there will be fraud in the upcoming elections. The strategy, analysts assure, includes fabricating triumphalist matrices in the social networks, together with bots and pollsters' results, in order to ignore an eventual triumph of Maduro.
Behind all this, there is a whole idea that the election has been won a priori by this sector of the opposition. And of course, this air of triumphalism shows that there is no possibility of a legitimate victory of Chavez's followers, which effectively give a conditioning to the presidential election. They say, if the candidate that we are projecting does not win, then it is because it was a fraudulent process.
In the streets, the population is committed to maintaining peace and reject scenarios of violence, such as those experienced in previous years.
They might claim it, but they have always done that. Every election they claim fraud, because they never win. They don't stand a chance.
And unfortunately, the opposition does not know how to lose, and they are always inventing a little trick or something to get noticed in other places. But no, unfortunately for them, it will not work out, because we are aware.
The extremist sectors competing in the elections have not committed to recognize the results. In the past, against Chavez and Maduro's previous wins, the opposition denounced frauds, without ever being able to prove them. But this strategy generated violent events, even causing deaths.
This certainly opens the door to possible scenarios of violence that until now seemed very far and seem to have been already overcome in Venezuela. But this tendency to declare victory prior to the presidential election leaves no other scenario but the path to extremism in the recognition of the elections, which is very dangerous for the country.
From the campaign of Maduro, they say they will seek to guarantee peace with the use of justice and the mobilized people.
Whoever violates the peace of the Republic before, during, or after the election must go to jail. Whoever violates the peace of the Republic must go to jail. It is clear to you. You have been warned. You have been warned. Here we are heading to the election in peace.
At the time of the registration before the electoral power, 9 of the 10 opposition candidacies committed themselves to respect the laws and the electoral results.
Lionel Retamal y José Rondón, teleSUR, Caracas, Venezuela.